everybody. Good day. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Hello, Jay.
Hello to all of you.
How are you, my friend?
Very well.
Like your shirt today, Easus.
Thank you.
Was that from a...
Made for my friends on the west side. Of the
West
state.
side?
Yeah.
Was it's a tie-dye Detroit Cast shirt.
Pedro and Laura.
Oh, Pedro, yeah.
I was thinking that was from one of your paint parties or something, but
No.
no, they did that on purpose for you?
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of the white hoodie that he had.
Yeah.
That he took to one of those paint parties, and
That's
it ended
right.
up looking like that.
Yes.
No, I fucking dig this shirt for sure.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a cool shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird wearing the shirt of the show, I suppose, but whatever.
Kind of Luther Ellis of you, but whatever.
I know.
It's more Luther Ellis when we wear it because it says Mike and Jay on
True.
it.
That's
so
true.
So it's better for you, E. But it's a perfect shirt for him. He can spill shit on it. No
It's
one's
got that
the wiser.
wide neck where he's like pulled
Yeah.
on it or something. I don't know.
I know. No, I fucking dig
Does
it.
doesn't
man.
just that look awful?
I know, it looks-
like I couldn't wear that for more than 3 minutes. I'd be like, God, get it off me.
It's not quite as bad as the Jennifer whatever from Fame, the off the shoulder
right.
sweater, but it's
I'm gonna live forever. No, that was Flashdance, wasn't it?
Flashdance.
Yeah.
God damn it, yeah, Fame.
Leg warmers. and-
Yes. What was her name? Jennifer something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think I should know this stuff before I talk about it. Anyways, I'm excited today. You know what today is?
It's Mike Lindell Day.
It's Mike Lindell Day. Shit. E, can you do me a favor? Next to my computer, there's a stack of questions that I've written. I should probably have those on hand so I can do
This is Mike Lindell. Can you hear me?
proper promotion and whatnot. And there's something fishy going on here, Jay.
Oh, no.
Dawn wouldn't tell me and just kind of alluded to, he detoured on his flight, perhaps, coming home unannounced, got home late. And what does that mean? She's like, I don't know, I got to go.
Is there going to be a Metro car pull up in front of your house in a second?
No. But he got into the office late.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't know what the hell he was doing in Seattle. Where was Trump yesterday? Was he in Seattle?
Oh man, he's been doing rallies the last couple of weeks. I don't know.
Has he?
He could be out and about.
Out and about? Yeah, anytime Lindell leaves somewhere, I'm assuming he's with the Trump, he's with the president. That's got to be so weird to be like, you think back 10 years ago, whatever, he's just some crackhead owning a bar. Now he's hanging at the White House with the president. It's just fucking,
He's surreal.
it would have to be, right? God, that's weird. Anyway.
Only in America, right? The free. I mean,
Yeah, I suppose. But anyway, that'll be fun to talk to him. He's always we always have a good time.
He's a
with him.
hoot.
Yeah, he's quite a hoot. Anyway, also, God, what a busy week, dude. I'm kind of scrambled because we got Massey coming in Thursday. We've got J. Chris Newberg coming in tomorrow, and then his big show at the at Ridley's Comedy Castle. Just go to comedycastle.com for tickets to that. That should be a lot of fun. And then Massey, I'm looking forward to him Friday night at the Arc, thearc.org for tickets to that. Busy week. E, are you excited?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Always, I like doing shit. I mean, I
Fun
don't.
to do shit.
I kind of feel
I'm
like
more
E
exci-
this week. Like, I don't usually like to do shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to.
It's exciting.
So many engagements.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
many engagements to deal with. Whatever.
I don't know, man.
First, we should get through some of the news. And Michael just blow in a call live here in about a half hour or so, like 1 o'clock our time. So the phone is here, and I hope it doesn't ring obnoxiously because it will be loud, I'm certain. But we'll get to him when he calls. Just see the new Fury, Mitch McConnell.
Oh,
going on.
the shirts, yeah.
The fire or Team Mitch ones. There's a couple things. Did you see the people protesting outside his house?
No.
These people that go to someone's house banging pots and pans at 1 a.m, chanting, we can't sleep, you can't sleep, shit. Don't you people have anything better to do with your lives at all? You're gonna go to Mitch McConnell. You shouldn't even know Mitch's name.
I
You know what I mean? This
know. It's
80-year-old
crazy.
man who's just, career congressman, senator, whatever the fuck.
So many fun things in life, and you're at Mitch McConnell's house banging pans.
Bitching
Crazy.
about everything, and then Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was outraged yesterday. I guess an image circulated on social media showing supporters of Mitch McConnell. I think nerds, by the way, in high school. Is this what you talk about when you're like the Young Republicans group or whatever, getting their start?
No, these guys just look like frat boys, don't they?
Yeah, but I think they're
Or guys
high school
huddled around.
kids. I think they're high school kids.
Okay, they're
but
frat boys waiting to happen.
Yes, they're soon to be frat boys.
And they're hugging on like a AOC cardboard cutout. Frankly, we've done worse to the Mike Lindell cardboard cutout.
Dude, when you have a decoration on the lawn or a cardboard cutout, if you've got a group of guys, right, and you see a couple reindeer on a lawn and you walk by and your buddy's got a camera, guarantee one of the guys is going to mock butt fuck the deer. It's just going to happen. You know what I mean? It does fall under the category of boys will be boys, and I know people don't like that term, but it is rooted in something, you know?
It's horseplay.
Well, boys will be boys. Yeah, just chalk this up, I suppose, to boys will be boys with their privilege. It's like, no, it's more about raging testosterone at a young age and wanting to make each other laugh, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
You
is a
know?
great example of that.
I mean, I don't think I've ever assaulted the Mike Lindell cutout. I don't think you have, but I wouldn't have put it past me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
people
just-
have. People definitely have.
Sure. So these guys are all wearing Team Mitch t-shirts, posing for the camera. The caption reads, "Break me off a piece of that."
Where do you get a Team Mitch friggin' T-shirt?
I don't know. I'm assuming those are not sold widely. Those are on some Mitch McConnell website, if he's got a website.
But you get 1, 2, 3, 6 of them, at least 7 guys to buy Team Mitch T-shirts. Insane, man.
I'm assuming they were handed out, free. They were at some picnic, something or other for.
Oh, I thought you
for their
said
school.
website.
No, I don't know where they got them, but anyway, she responds to this image, tweeting, "Hey, Senator," to Mitch's Twitter handle. "These young men look like they work for you. Just wanted to clarify, are you paying for young men to practice groping and choking members of Congress with your payroll? Or is this just the standard culture of Team Mitch? Thanks." Ugh. And I liked it because I went on there and I'm like, you're kidding me. You can't be serious. There's a picture. Like, you can't really think this is like a threat. But,
Right. I mean, that could be Darth Vader, Mike Lindell, whatever. These
Yeah.
are cardboard cutouts. People do shit like that.
And, people, I know, not to excuse the behavior, the guy that's, quote, choking her. Isn't that what people do when they go to the Eiffel Tower and they go like this? Like, oh, yeah, I've got the Eiffel Tower in my hands. It looks like, hey, there's a neck
he is.
there.
I didn't notice that. He is choking her, isn't he?
And one clown is like
I was
hugging
fixating
her.
on the guy hugging and kissing her.
Yeah. One guy's giving a thumbs down to her. A couple guys are giving thumbs down. One dork is just smiling. And people are... So anyways, the image was taken on Saturday in Fancy Farm, Kentucky.
What's with the guy kneeling down and pointing? Is he pointing at her vagine?
Or
That might be the most troubling one of all.
I think he's actually just
He's
doing
just
like
like,
a.
I think he's just...
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
I think.
I don't know. What do I know?
The fact that you even mention that as a possibility, Jay, means anybody that doesn't like this photo he's mock
Yeah.
fingering her now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's
that's true. It's
disrespecting
enough.
women. I don't think he's properly lined up with the vagine. I think our angle is a little off, and if he was trying to mock finger her, I don't think it's a
Yeah,
bad
he's
job.
missing it. He's missing it.
I think he's going off to the right. So anyway, they're at the site of the annual St. Jerome Catholic Church picnic. But the funny part to me was, I went online, it was like, I see this trending thing, and I'm like, ugh, are you kidding me? We can't just throw this aside. And for her to be offended, some of the horrific stuff she has said about Mitch McConnell and the president, and it's like, she's going to take offense. Like, dude, really? Like, these guys choking me and mocking me.
It's a great opportunity politically.
Yeah.
Why would you pass it up?
Well, what happens is she retweets it and is outraged, and so anyone who's on the D team is commenting. And some of the comments I read, name them. A lot of people, and they do. Like, next thing you know, Dan Jenkins, La Da Da, Kentucky, Bill Stevenson, blah blah blah, Kentucky, like names them and like working on the last two.
These nerds working
Next-
on the last two.
Next one. Find out what colleges they've applied to. We need to make sure no admissions lets them in. We need to make sure no admissions lets them into college. Next guy jumps in. I've already reached out to all the Ivy League schools and Kentucky colleges to make sure they see this.
My God. It's all so stupid.
Yep, just some future white rapists. Actually, probably current is the next comment. Just watch these. This is
I've reached out to all the Ivy League schools and sent them.
So this dude, if you look at the picture again, this dude over to the left, who's just simply standing there smiling,
will never go to college.
may not go to college because he's in a photo like this.
Yeah.
The guy with a thumbs down may not go to college.
I don't
because
agree
he's
with
in
her politically.
in a picture with a cardboard cutout of AOC.
At 17 years old. You know what I mean? Like, dude, can we honestly, please, can someone talk?
These are adults who went through like stuff. That's what I don't get so much about. Like when I talk about like people getting on Facebook fights, you know what I mean? These people that talk about young kids, like, oh, these young kids addicted to their phone, and that they're on like the community Facebook page, like getting in fights with people. And that's where I
Yeah.
stand on this. Like, dude, you grew up in a life where like the 80s, all these parents that babble on about soft kids and like 80s, my dad used to drink beer while we were, playing lawn darts. But they're the same people that are sitting here going, they shouldn't have to go to college because of one photo. Like,
I
these
swear to
same
God,
people.
This next Twitter person, I'm positive that she was serious. This was not a joke. Just watch. These white boys will probably never go to jail or maybe even go to court for this assault. I think she was being fucking serious
I think you're probably right.
for
dude.
this assault.
That's a cardboard cutout.
These white boys, they gotta all do, oh, white boys. These white boys will probably never go to jail or even court. Like, it's bad enough that their privilege will keep them out of jail for this assault.
But if they go to jail,
But they probably won't even go to court. Goddamn privilege. Ugh, look at these
I love it, man.
disgusting white rapists. Future Supreme Court judges. Kavanaugh dig. I get it. Because he raped all those people, right? He was just going to parties, getting all rapey all the time. This is one of my favorites, too. This lady chimes in. I already talked to one of their mothers to let her know about her son's reprehensible behavior. Found out where mom of one of these kids lives and reached out and called her to report to
probably.
narc out his reprehensible behavior.
What would your mom say if somebody called up and narked you on that picture? My mom would be like, "What's wrong with it?
Wait.
I don't."
Wait,
That's a cardboard
hold
cutout,
on.
right?
You sent me the wrong photo. Where's the photo of him in this reprehensible behavior? And then my mom would laugh so fucking hard at someone like that, she'd drop the phone on him.
Yeah, it's
like,
insane.
I don't know what one of these young men's, young boys' mother did when she received the phone call from a stranger to report. I'd call the police on that. Like, some psychopath just called me. She has my number. She knows my kid's name. And
Yeah, right.
I don't know if it's too soon to file a restraining order, but holy shit. Yeah, it's madness. Find out what colleges they've
Don't worry, guys. I've already
I'm on
reached
it.
out. I've already reached out to
If they even
several.
thought of, if they worked their whole lives and earned their way into an Ivy League school, they can forget about it now because I'm on it. Thanks, hero.
Damn.
Thanks, hero. They don't agree with me politically. Make sure they never work or go to school. Their life is over.
What is that guy? Oh my god! I want to meet these people in real life. I wish I could.
No, you
I
don't.
do, I do
I
too.
know.
Do you
Well-
think they're just trolls, or do you think they're like a 12-year-old boy, pretending to be someone, or do you think they're really just
All of the above.
angry?
Yeah, all of the
All
above.
the above.
Because the writing on it makes most of them, you're like, okay, this is an adult. I think this is an adult. They're talking about subjects like if you even get like mad enough to be like, oh, God, I'm going on this motherfucker's Twitter handle to see what he's all about, and you see they're dumb. They're just right down the checklist of rhetoric that they've been told. And but it's like the subject matter would not be of
It's
interest
just
to a 12-year-old.
losers, man. They got nothing else going on. Both sides.
Yeah.
Both sides. You're hanging out on Twitter just looking for dumb shit to yell about.
Be mad, but I'm mad.
Losers.
Yeah. Point of personal privilege. Those guys, like, it's sad and scary, but hilarious. Like, I can go on Twitter, and maybe I'm a loser too, but I can go on there and howl when someone's like, they probably want to go to jail for this assault. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, people are that fucking stupid. They really are. Learning more about the asshole in Dayton. Not very much talk out there about who he supported. And
Yeah,
what he
less
believed.
interesting to the media.
Why is that? Why is that not? I know exactly why. It doesn't. I know the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. But boy, oh boy, that looks bad. Doesn't that just look bad? Don't people notice that and go like,
No, they don't, because the people that you're talking about don't even see that. So they don't, you know what I mean? They watch CNN and they don't see it or whatever.
people were flipped out today about the headline, Trump urges unity versus racism or something like that. New York Times front page story. people were outraged. Shame on you, New York Times. Cancel my subscription was the number one trending thing when I woke up this morning. It literally did what the news is supposed to do. Trump did, in fact, urge unity v. racism. That was the whole point of his speech yesterday. Like, to say anything other than that is the definition of fake news.
Yes. Wow. That was the number one trending thing. Cancel my subscription.
Cancel New York Times subscription or NYT subscription, and it took off. Cory Booker, of course, all the political heads. Shame on you. You're better than this.
Are they?
No, they're not. And to the point that when the New York Times story came out, online version, the headline had changed. Yeah. To settle down, angry Twitter mob.
Market spoke.
Of which none of you, all of you that are canceling your subscriptions, don't have subscriptions to the New York Times. I can promise you that. You're just jumping on a trendy topic, trendy hashtag.
That is a good point. I'd love to see.
Does anybody have a subscription to any of these things anymore?
Hell no.
Got the DuckDuckGo machine, don't you?
Yeah, I have. Let's
Cancel
see.
my subscription.
Yeah, who is subscribed? Unless you're in New York. I mean, it is the paper of note.
I guess there's stuff behind the paywall, right? If you pay for it, you get more content online.
Well, I think the New York
but-
Times, isn't that the one that gives you like 11 free stories
Yeah, they
a
do
month?
give you a certain amount of free ones, and then they tell you afterwards, like,
Oh, I didn't know.
watch
Yeah,
your
and like for
pay.
$1.99 a month or a week. I'm like, no, I will take my 11. I will choose wisely.
Get my fake news elsewhere.
Yes, I'll get it elsewhere. But yeah, you can click it and it'll tell you, oh, Mike, you've only got 7 free stories remaining this month. And I'm like, there's 4 days left. I'm good. I'm good. And they love going, you've run out of your free stories. Pay us, loser. Nope, not during it. I guess I just won't read you for a couple days. Sorry.
Go to one of 8 million other websites and read the story.
Yeah. So anyway, the Dayton shooter, Connor Betts, we know who was in the car with his sister, his best friend.
Yeah,
So
the guy
he's
he shot, he only wounded, right?
Wounded, yeah. Critically wounded. And he's in the hospital giving interviews to cops. But they're hoping that they think maybe this is their best chance to get any sort of motive.
Right.
As if it matters. I mean, really, does it? Like, he's a
Yeah, we're
insane
gonna hear
thug
an
idiot.
Right,
Like,
you're gonna hear an insane person's reason for going and shooting indiscriminately.
right, at strangers.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is
They're
there
just hoping
anything-
behind hope. This friend says something about Trump.
Yeah. Trump worked him into a frenzy. He couldn't stand Trump's racist rhetoric
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what they're just hoping for.
Yeah. So,
Cross your fingers.
but it's like these the asswipe down in Texas, the one in El Paso. He's the one that's alive, right?
Yeah.
That got lost, went into Walmart, got something to eat, and I was like, this looks a good shooting ground.
Yeah.
And then went in all geared up and shot.
Put on his ear protection, eye
His
protection.
ear protection and his little yellow glasses, bulletproof vest, all the usual hallmarks. But they're like, they're going to charge him with capital murder, punishable by death. They're also thinking about charging him with a hate crime. I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. I mean, anybody that walks into a place and indiscriminately fires a AR-15 at strangers, that they're
Yeah, but you
hate
understand
crime.
what a hate crime is, right?
I know, but it's like
Motivated by race.
yeah, and it was like we know that
Yeah.
he gave us a manifesto. Remember? I mean, we know, but they're all hate crimes essentially.
Yeah, it's kind of the belt and suspender approach, isn't it?
yeah. What does it matter? You gotta give him death. Like
Just kill him.
yeah, delete.
Too bad somebody didn't plug him at
Yeah.
the scene.
I know. Is that good or is that better or worse? Do you like seeing these assholes go to death row?
No, I don't like spending money on these assholes.
Yeah, I know. And
Years and years and years of incaration and appeals.
Yeah.
Screw that.
I know he'll be alive in 30 years, won't he? Most
yeah,
likely.
probably.
Yeah, that kid wasn't he young?
No. I mean, they won't have put him to death.
Oh.
It'll take that long to exhaust all his
Well, it was
appeals.
it's
and-
Texas, maybe not.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
point.
that's true. That's true. Texas is a little quicker with the justice, swift justice down in Texas. Ain't messing around.
That's why I
down
can't
in
believe
Texas.
nobody plugged him, man, on site.
well-
a citizen or a
Shocked some of these
cop.
people don't even like in a situation like that, dude. Even like when they kind of have him,
Yeah.
just be like, "Psh, oh damn,
Oh,
damn, my
shit.
bad." Well, whatever.
I think he did his shooting and then went out the back door and all right, and just got in his car and started driving around, and they pulled him over and arrested him without incident.
To E's point, how does one charge not go off? A little slug to the head.
Just yell something out. He's got a gun. Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they do it all the time to black guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's not black, so that's why they didn't do it. No, I don't know. You would at least fucking elbow to the nose. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you would have to drop an
He'd
elbow.
be
a
worse
fist,
for wear.
Charlie horse, something that doesn't show up in the
A noogie, anything.
anything.
Wet willy.
Oh, wet willy. Can you
Oh,
imagine?
those are the worst.
Can you imagine? He's handcuffed and he's in the back of the cop car, handcuffed, and he just mowed down a bunch of people and just.
I could
I
just,
just-
wet willy you right now.
And he's like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!" Both ears.
It's the
Wait
worst.
till we get back to the station. You're getting a swirly. Dunk his head in the toilet. He's soaking wet in his mugshot. Wet Willie. I wonder if any cop has ever done that to a suspect
wet
in car.
willy.
Just like, I want to hit him, shoot him,
I,
tase him.
I would say yes.
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say yes.
I'm gonna say probably like some guy's just being a dick in the back of the car.
A wet willy.
Who's gonna believe
Yeah, but you know
when
what?
you go? The cop gave me a wet willy. You'd be like,
A wet willy
Really?
is sort of personal. I mean, you're sticking
yeah.
your finger in a perp's ear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's never happened.
without a glove, maybe.
A cop has never given a wet willy in the back of a squad car.
We have a lot of cops that listen to us, Jay. If any of you know of someone who has
A wet willy. Now
administered-
everybody you understand what a wet willy is, right?
suck
Everyone.
your finger, put it in someone's ear, and it's
and then
it's
and then
gross.
dip it around.
You're probably
never.
right. It's probably never happened,
No.
but I hope it has.
Spit in the face for sure.
A cop spit in someone's face.
course.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Slap him across the face. Of course. Wet willy, no way. 100%.
In the history of law
The
enforcement,
history of law enforcement.
horse and
dude,
carriage,
yeah, they
horse
have.
and carriage law enforcement.
Never.
Before the car,
Never. Worldwide. Not once in this entire
Worldwide?
universe.
You're saying some-
Universe-wide.
you're saying some Russian cop somewhere didn't give someone
Never.
a nice with just pull that fucking giant hat off his head and give him
never
a nice whip.
happened.
I disagree. I think it has happened.
I definitely disagree, like big time disagree. Just because I just
Biggie.
think it's so gross that I could see them doing it.
It's gross for the perpetrator of the wet willy too, though.
I know,
But it
The,
but-
the
sucks
only
way
people
worse
you
than
do it
it's
to
so-
is like
it's
your
so dem-
brother or
it's-
something.
it's so
You
demeaning,
just
though.
don't do
yeah,
it to other.
would.
It's
They
demeaning
would.
as hell. Like it's such an insult to have someone stick a wet finger in your ear. It blows. And
Never happened.
Everybody knows the wet willy sucks. Nobody wants to be wet willied. Even a guy handcuffed in the back of a cop car.
When you can just go spit in his face instead.
Yeah.
There's
think
other options,
the thing is-
gentlemen.
the thing is,
There's
I think-
so many other options.
But the-
You're gonna put your finger in this gross perp's ear?
It's
No
just
way.
so
Never happened.
insulting. It's like spitting in a guy's face is violent. Wet willy's not really violent. It's just like, I can.
exactly. That's kind of like why you punching
degrading.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why you're punching yourself is a great one. Why stop punching yourself? You think a cop's ever held a guy down and done that hanging spit thing and then sucked it back up?
You guys are underestimating the grossness that most people feel of taking their own finger and putting it in another's ear.
You think a cop?
It doesn't matter to Easus. He doesn't understand that grossness.
Do you think a cop is that big of a pussy that he's worried about a few germs on a fingertip? No, he's a badass
Dude,
man. He's,
I think most cops go, I'm not getting anywhere near that motherfucker's ear.
yeah, maybe.
There's nothing in the ear. I mean, come on.
Ears are nasty, dude.
Yeah, but nothing they can. They're not going to get anything from it. Like,
Yeah, it's not. I mean, if that's the least of a cop's worries on the beat,
E,
I
you
mean,
got
trust
no
me.
problem walking up to a stranger,
I'm not saying I would.
throwing your finger in his ear.
I'm not saying I would.
Ugh.
I'm not. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I just think that to say
Okay.
that no cops ever haven't done it, I think it's crazy.
It's
I think it's so
unknowable.
demeaning.
Yeah, it's unknowable unless we get a cop to.
Oh,
to
that
call us
would
in
obviously
or-
settle it, but
send an email.
no one can resolve that it's never been done. So
And
it's unprovable.
we can keep people's anonymity too. If a cop wants to go, I'm not proud of this, but I need a guy in the balls once, or and I didn't have to, or took off my glove and smacked him backwards across the face,
Like we were about to duel one
Yeah.
of those.
yeah, and just pow, just gave him a good backhand slap.
sir. Slap.
Yes, exactly. I challenge you to a duel. Boom. Anything like that is,
Of course, there's been knees to nuts. Of
Oh my
course, there's
God, yeah.
been elbows
knees to nuts.
heads.
Yeah. But wedgies, swirlies, wet willies.
Wedgies.
Wedgie.
Swirlies are
guarantee
pretty-
Do you think they
you-
flick them on the end of the nose too? Flick, flick, flick.
Maybe.
Come on, man.
Maybe.
They're either bringing a punch to the side of the head or it's not happening.
I think you're discounting the humiliation factor. Getting punched in the face is just a violent act. When you hold the circle like this and someone doesn't stick their finger in there and you whack them in the balls, there's a humiliation factor with all those wonderful games.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Humiliation.
Yeah, you got some badass, you got some drug kingpin in your.
Oh my God! Take a measure of El Chapo, and you're just like, what do you think about that, Mr. Chapo?
Like, it shows just how utterly defenseless they are when a drug kingpin, he can take a bullet, he can take a punch, but a wet willy, it's like dude, and you swirly him or wedgie him, that's humiliation on the next level. It really is.
To circle back to our story, then I hope, guys, that he did get a wet willy.
I do too. Hope it wasn't too full too, because he was just starting at a little meal at Walmart. It was a Walmart for a meal.
Yeah, don't they have Subways
They
or
have
something?
Subway
in
there
Oh,
sometimes.
is that what it is? So anyway, Chuck Beard was the man in the car. Charles Beard was the man in the car with Betts and Megan. This is going back to the other shooting, the Dayton one. He and Megan appear to have been standing outside Ned Pepper's bar when Betts opened fire with an AR-15 body armor mask, 250 rounds of ammo. That's the one where the cops just lit him up in 30 seconds. He was friends. It sounds like this Beard dude was friends with Megan. But according to social media profiles, he's dating another chick. So they drove the family to the Betts family's 2007 Corolla to downtown Dayton for the murder. So, yeah, he's speaking to police. They went to school together. High school pictures show Betts and Chase were performing in school plays together.
Oh, nice.
Future gunman like that, mask. I wouldn't picture him in the choir doing a musical version of Cinderella. But they were. Interesting, right? They were doing a 2012 production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical Cinderella. Young man's closeness confirmed by a police report. Betts was arrested and booked DUI May of 2016. His passenger went home as Betts was taken to the local police station. When released that morning, it was Beard who picks him up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
signed
for
him out, agreed to accept responsibility for him. Yet, confusingly, Daily Mail exclusively learned that has been told that Beard was on the hit list Betts put together.
With friends like that, righty?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, there
Hi,
you
it's
go.
Mike Lindell. Can you hear me? All right. Hello?
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 Hey, it's Mike Lindell.
Hey,
buddy.
Mike.
How are you? It's Mike and Jay with the Detroit Cast. Thanks for calling in.
Yep, you bet.
How you doing? We're on the air, by the way. I just picked it up live.
Oh, okay, all right.
There you go. Sorry, I should have told you that
That's awesome.
before. How did
That's awesome.
How did it go? You just got back late from Seattle, I hear.
Yeah, I was in Seattle and Montana. I did a speech there, and I also spoke at a church. I was over at this big lake, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Any I heard you got into work a little bit late this morning.
Yeah, we got back. I had to go drop a guy off in Des Moines last night, and then I got to Minnesota, and our landing gear wasn't going down on the plane, and we had to circle twice. So
Oh, no, you had to belly flop her in, huh?
no, we didn't. We got the landing gear down. They have 3 ways to do it, but I guess they wanted to make sure that it worked.
Does this count as an almost near death experience?
Yeah.
Number 20
No,
for
that's
Mike
so-
Lindell.
No, it's so far down the list. That's nothing. All I said to the pilots, "What time am I getting home?"
Hey, Mike, you, of course, are the CEO and founder of MyPillow, MyPillow.com, and I thought it was really cool. Dawn was telling me, like, you came busting in and were like, I want to do some new radio specials. And so if you go to MyPillow.com and look to the right, you'll see radio specials, and if you click on it, you've got the body pillow now that you're regularly over $85 for this thing, but not if you use promo code TDC.
Is the body pillow shaped like you, Mike? Were you the
The
model?
body pillow, no, but it's close.
Yeah.
You can get this thing.
We're having all kinds of these radio specials today. So So yeah, you go to the radio specials, you click on it, and then a body pillow as low as $29.99. They're normally $89. So we're doing something really special for all the radio. So
That's very cool of you. So make sure you guys, if you do that, use the promo code TDC for anything you buy. Giza Sheets, 50% off.
The
Free
Gizas.
shipping.
yeah, that's amazing. That's the lowest price ever.
Really?
Yeah, the lowest price I've ever had. I just started that 3 days ago, and I don't know how long I can run that.
Oh,
But
no. The Giza's running out.
today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day for everybody to get to.
And there's
Absolutely.
there's lots of other specials too. Get hundreds of dollars off one of the MyPillow mattresses, all kinds of stuff. So just go there, mypillow.com. You'll see it clear as day on the front page there. Also, wanted to mention, Mike, michaeljlindell.com to pre-order From Crack Addict to CEO, the Mike Lindell story book.
Yeah, you go to MikeLindellsBook.com. MikeLindellsBook.com.
Okay.
And you go there, and I even read the prologue. It's where I was getting my head cut off by the cartel back in the day, and obviously I made it.
Yeah.
But the proceeds, I'm pre-selling it, and you guys, by doing this, I'm able to help. I got to get my Lindell Recovery Network launched, and that's what I'm using proceeds from this to get it launched. It's going to create thousands of jobs and help tens of thousands of addicts, and I want to get that launched as soon as possible. So I decided to pre-launch or pre-sell my book early, kind of like a Kickstarter, you know.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea. And the book, it sounds like comes out sometime around December, maybe.
Yeah, it'll be done as early as November, but I put on there's no later than December 10th. I mean, I'm self-publishing, so I even bought my own paper. I want all the money to go to the kingdom. I want all the money to help addicts and help people. And
Yeah.
so I'm not even selling it as of now in box stores or anywhere. It's going to be direct to the consumer, so we can use so much of the proceeds to help launch my recovery network. So.
Yeah, the Mike Lindell Recovery Network. When do you think that'll get started?
Where I'm hoping as soon as possible, but I need funds. We're hoping for September, October, that in the fall here, and what that is, that's going to be so amazing. You put in your age and what you're addicted to. And so let's say it's a 22-year-old opiate addict might not relate to a 50-year-old meth addict. So basically what happens then, you put in your age and what you're addicted to, and all these stories come down, but they're not stories of bottoms. Like, I was ready to jump off a bridge, because an addict, they look at that and they go, oh, well, I'm not that bad, or I'm way worse, and they can't relate.
Yeah.
What they can relate to is the commonality of the drug. So what you do, I've had all these stories, and all the addicts did that are set free is tell what they didn't like about the drug. So let's say I do crack cocaine. I would go, what I didn't like about crack, I didn't know, you always got to make sure you have baking soda. I always would, I'd have to go to a store in the middle of the night and buy a set of silverware when all I needed was a spoon.
Oh, God.
Or cut up wire when you didn't have chore boy, cut up like a lamp or underneath the car, get the wires and make a screen out of it. And if you're a crack addict, if you're not a crack addict, you don't know these things. So you go, wow, that guy knows what he's talking about. But yet, and I look in the picture, wow, he's set free. He's on this site. And then I come on to the addicts and I go, you guys, these guys have all been set free and by all these centers over here. And I have vetted 3,500 centers in the United States over the past year and a half. Success rates of 70% or better. Incidentally, they're all faith-based, every one of them. Your Teen Challenge, Union Gospels, Salvation Armies, St. Matthew's, so many individual ones, but they have one thing in common. They are faith-based. Now the addict, I talk them into going in there. I say, you guys, you go in there. I say, how long would you go to be a carpenter apprentice? You'd go for months. Well, here, this is an apprenticeship on life. So you get them in there, and then when they get out, I tell the addict, I'm going to be waiting for you, and I have mentors that I'm going to be paying all over the country. These are high-paying jobs, and that's all they do is mentor the addicts coming out of these treatment centers. And then I also have a relapse app that I have, and what that is, it's a relapse trigger app. Let's say you get out of treatment, and your direct mentor, he's been an addict, but he's not. Let's say that your kids still don't like you, or your wife didn't wait for you, or or your Uncle Ray dies. Well, let's say that didn't happen to him. Now you put it in this app. Uncle Ray died. I have a death in my family, and now 24/7, it's like a call center. This guy gets on, and he connects with them, exact same age. He's been through it. He got through it, and that's his hope match. That it's just a complete circle of hope for the addict, and the help, hope, and mentorship, and it's going to change this country
Wow,
like that.
Mike, I got to tell you, this is really encouraging. I can tell just by listening to your voice how much time and effort went into and thought went into this. Because I've had issues with drugs. You and I have talked about it before, and
Right.
it's very, very frustrating to see these. There's a million recovery centers, most unregulated. Some of them, they're extremely expensive. You can spend tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
So many people in the gutter don't have insurance. Insurance doesn't even
Right.
cover it most of the time. And they'll offer stuff like hot tubs and horseback riding and painting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yoga and all this garbage.
Yeah.
And this is complete garbage. And let me tell you with those secular centers, what they have done. They have monetized addiction, and it's horrific. They go, oh, addiction's a disease. You need to come here. If you have insurance, blah, blah, blah. Now you go there, and it's 30 days, cost you 25, 30 grand. They're preying on the family. So you know what? Oh, you don't have any more insurance? I'll cash in your 401k.
Yeah.
Help your addict. Heck, it's your fault. And now the addict goes 30 days or whatever, and they say, oh, you're good to go. And the addict's going, well, what do you mean? I didn't get my PIN addressed. Why I was an addict in the first place. So many of these centers, the faith-based ones, all address, why I was an addict. Most addiction comes, almost all of it, from trauma and childhood. Fatherlessness in this country is just crazy. With divorces now, the family unit's so important. They did a poll in a prison in Kansas. How many you think of the felons that were in there, the inmates? How many think both their parents got married, planned to have the kid, had the kid, and were still married to that day?
Very few.
Zero. 0%. Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, and you get up to county jail level, and it moves up. It just shows we've lost family. We've took God out of schools, lost the family values. Fatherlessness is crazy. And that's what these faith-based centers do. That's what they're good at, and those are what work. And
Do you have to be steeped in religion yourself to go there? Is it like I'm not really?
No, absolutely not. And a lot of them, just because I say faith-based, they just address the wounds you have. Most of them, that are there, they're addressing wounds that you had. That why you're an addict in the first place. We're not born addicts. Addiction is a lot of things. It's your self-worth is down. It's just bad. So your fear of rejection. Well, a lot of people use drugs and alcohol for just to be brave, just to talk to people like I did. But most of it is to. And it's like a snowball effect. You feel bad about inside. You don't know why, and you're taking these drugs and alcohol to feel good. And our kids nowadays with this opiates and heroin, and I mean, it's horrific because they're like a lost generation that they've been brought up and they don't have a family base, or they don't have God, or they don't have faith, and they're hopeless. And they need hope. They need hope. And that's what this addiction, that's what my recovery network's going to do, is give them hope. I'm also doing this. I'm also taking the same app, and I'm giving it to all the churches in the country free. So what they're going to do is you'll have a church, and you have to be a member or have a family member that's a member, and you'll get this code, because I don't want people in the streets, because the people in the church are kind of low hanging fruit. They went there, they try to, maybe once a week, they go once a month, or maybe it's their grandparent that's there of the kid. And now they get this code, and what it is, it's going to be my mentors, my certified mentors are going to have on Tuesdays and Fridays they're kind of like a virtual reality AA or GA or CA, whatever. But these guys, let's say you're in that church and you're a 30-year-old meth addict, you can sign up online, or, it's free, and you go to this meeting, and the guy leading the meeting is the person's a 30-year-old meth addict that's been through it all, that's made it through. And now it's like a ministry there. You talk, and guess what? That person might be all he needs. A lot of people, they're right on that edge there where they can quit and they can get set free. but they need their hearts restored and they need hope. And that person doing that meeting is their hope. And these centers are their hope. And they have to see results and, go, wow, I could be like that. And then, by the way, all these people all the addicts that go to these centers, they're all going to have jobs when they get out. I'm providing them jobs. It's going to be one of the biggest employers in this country's history.
All stuffing pillows.
All getting jobs, just like I do it. At My Pillow, I hire so many addicts. They're ex-addicts.
Yep.
And if something happens, one of our guys goes rogue on us. We go, here, we'll pay you. You go get help. And you get out, you still have your job, but you only get to go where we say you're going for the help, because you don't want to waste your money and go to something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, Mike,
you're going to go where it works.
You're saying you're going to hook these people up with My Pillow jobs?
No, with jobs. I have employers all over the country.
Whole network.
Actually, Salvation Army, they've been doing this for years. That's what they are. They're a treatment. They're the best treatment in the country, right next to Teen Challenge, and that's what they do. You get through, and almost 50% they hire within 50%. Employers out there are very smart. They know. Addicts are hard workers. They've got, you get them set free, man, and they want to set the world on fire. Those are the best workers you can grab, because they're very resourceful, let me tell you. And
So are these
devoted.
will these be good paying jobs, Mike? Are these like
absolutely great paying jobs? So like when you're going to these treatment centers, you come out, you're going to get some good paying jobs, and you might even be a paid mentor. The mentors are getting the most. They're going to be getting very, very, very well paid money. And they addiction is any addict that's listening here, and we all know how hard work addiction is. People say to me all the time, Mike, man, you work all the time. Are you kidding? I'm having fun. I'll tell you, work was being an addict, trying to get your drugs, planning your drug, trying to hide your drug addiction. There's nothing harder than being an addict. So they're already used to working hard, and man, employers, once you see the success rate of coming out of my recovery centers, once you see the success rate, these employers are going to go, hey, I want these guys as fast as I can get them. We just had we were just talking about that with a couple big companies, and they want quality people, and so many people that are, just because people are addicts, that's a hidden gold mine of hard workers. I mean, it's, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. In my book, I got a line in there. It doesn't matter. Addiction affects everybody, no matter how many forks you eat with.
Yeah, it's true, and it's an epidemic. That those of us who have kind of traveled that road know are a lot closer to the fire and see how bad it is in this country. And you're an interesting case, though, Mike, because you've gotten to be good friends with the President of the United States, the most powerful man on the face of the earth. You can really make some headway on some of this stuff. Have you talked to him?
Well, yeah, and I was there when he signed the 800-page opiate bill. That's like a perfect plug-in and for what I'm doing. And so many of these things I would not be able to do if I became best friends with really good friends with Ben Carson, his wife Candy, and all the stuff they're doing with these opportunity zones and these Envision centers. The one that was started right in Detroit there. And by the way, launching my program. It's my two cities, Detroit and Minneapolis. I mean, those are the two. You're the two places dear to me that where I spent a lot of time, but having the administration behind, when I talk to the president is so. This is his kind of like one of his things very dear to him is to wipe out this drug addiction. And, that's why, when he's talking about, the drugs pouring in from the border and the first lady going around with these she's went around and speaking with Eric Bolling and they've done these big events. And now in the next few years, that's all I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working very close with the administration because there's so many things you can get around a lot of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
One of the things that was happening before in the last administration is like in Minnesota here, in Minnesota, like our Teen Challenge got, they asked for federal funds, or for funding, for public funds. Well, when they do that, then they say they try and change your curriculum. Well, then you can't talk about God or Jesus. You can't.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that's what that was based on. Teen Challenge was based on that. It goes back to Wilkerson's and Nicky Cruz from the 1950s. That's where Teen Challenge was founded in New York. It was on faith. It was faith based, and so now they take that out of the equation. Unless somebody asks, you don't bring it up. And it's just sad. It's like but now with this administration, it's like, you get money, they're not gonna. He wants to do whatever works. We don't care how you get set free. If it works, you should get help. They should get the money.
But you're a CEO. You've got a company to think about, and you came out really vocally supportive of the president, and he's a controversial guy, and that's obvious. Is that something that was a tough decision for you to go like, I'm better?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And I want anyone listening, let me tell you something. I didn't know anything about politics. When I came out of crack addiction, it was like I had a clean slate. I didn't know a liberal from a conservative. I didn't know a Republican from a Democrat, and I'll tell you what, after I got my company straightened out and stuff, when I came out of crack and I was all focused, and well then, by a series of divine appointments, Donald Trump reached out to me before he was elected to meet him in New York City. And I had a private meeting with him for a half hour. And we talked about, what he was going to do to help the inner cities, infrastructure, to bring jobs back. And just like MyPillow bringing 100% made in the USA. And talking to him and him going, and I've been around the block. And let me tell you, that our president, he has no agenda. He loves this country, and I'll tell you, individual people. I went and talked to his employees, and they were like talking to mine. I'm so friends with a lot of them now, but they were even offered money during the election. Hey, will you say this about him? Will you say that? They wouldn't even do anything like that because he's so genuine and he's so kind to all his employees. And it would be like talking to a MyPillow employee.
Yeah,
so
well, you know what, Mike? We obviously did the tour. You gave us the tour of the facility a year ago, whatever it was, and you could see it. Those employees had been with you for decades.
Yeah, and that's the same with his. I mean, you can put a plug-in in. I mean, this guy, the guy's amazing. But all the ideas and the stuff he had. Now, I went all in with no reservations. I prayed about it. I was all in, and I knew he was going to win the election.
Yeah.
Now he wins, and let me tell you right now, I want to tell everybody out there. I can look at all my friends and family and tell people in the street, wow, I was right. I'm so glad I made that choice. Where we're at now, the highest consumer confidence ever, lowest unemployment rate for blacks, Hispanics, for women. I mean, jobs, wages are rising. Wall Street all-time high. Now it should be so easy going, hey, you guys, come on in. It's great, let's all think what he would have done if he wouldn't have so much pushback,
Yeah, the pushback is incrable. It really is. But
it's sad. It really is sad.
But Mike, it's got to be hard, or maybe it's not. Maybe you laugh. I don't know if you read comments, but when some idiot kid goes on and gets bashed a little bit by Laura Ingraham, and they're immediately calling for all sponsors to boycott. And just the fact that you won't boycott our show makes them boycott you even more.
Let me tell you, people ask me all the time, Mike, what's your busiest day ever, man? But boy, did you lose half your business? And I said, my busiest day is the day I'm in right now. Let me tell you what happens on Twitter. With those guys, they're usually bots and trolls. They're not even real people. I mean, absolutely not real people. They're run by a very high and deep state crap that they put out there that to try and destroy different companies and people that have the president's back. But anyway, they'll put boycott Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Now another guy will put up that's a real person. He'll go, don't boycott Mike Lindell. He'll double his ads. We see enough of that jerk.
Yeah.
And I just laugh. But I'll tell you what, you guys, I went around when I came out with that movie Unplanned, and I was in California. That was very controversial too,
Oh, yeah.
Going against Planned Parenthood, and I see people when I see people, even if they're protesters, they'll come up to me. They want my picture. They go, well, we love what you're doing, but what's wrong with your brain that you back this president? And I'm going, you guys, if you trust me, what do you think? I only half my brain works? I said, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
This guy he's the most common sense, pragmatic president. He's what you're hearing about. He had to be the one thing people say, what's the best thing the president's done so far? One stands above all others. He smashed political correctness, or we were going down the worst path in this country's history.
I
There
agree.
is nothing better that he did was just destroy it. He
Yeah.
had to took a wrecking ball to all the corruptness in Washington, all the corruptness
Washington.
across the country. And he just loves our country, has everybody's back, and everybody should start realizing that.
So, Mike, has your interaction with Trump then inspired you to get involved politically? Maybe run for office out there?
In Minnesota, perhaps.
Maybe a House of
well,
Representatives seat?
No, that was a rumor, and I'm not even in her district. And but I'll tell you what, I'm using my platform. If what I said on another station, when God wants me to run, I'm all in. And if I pray about it, I have been approached by everybody to run for Senate, to run for 2024 president, to run for governor of Minnesota.
It's
in
a fifth
2022.
district. Fifth district.
No, I mean every single thing in the country. Yeah, move to the 5th district and run against Omar. I mean, it's just craziest. But I look at what are the odds, and I still, it's every day. It's like a movie for me being put into, I was just with 5 senators the other day at an event, and I'm getting to know, and I'm getting to know on both sides, different politicians on both sides, and I just, to use my platform, whatever that is, but I know this time around, I'm going to get Minnesota. I'm going to do so much in Minnesota to get this to where, back to the Republican, conservative, Christian values that we have here in Minnesota. This kind of that I want to get out there, and I want to get around and show, hey, these are the great things that have been going on, and let's keep it going. And for me. When I say Republican there, I don't even really mean that, because there's, I had people the last election cycle, some Republicans in New York going, Mike, come on out here and will you help us do a donor event? And I said, no, you're pro-choice. And they go, well, that doesn't matter. And I go, oh, really? Here I am I'll be on one of the national news stations. Mike Lindell backs a Republican and goes against his Christian values. And then my platform's done. I go by what I believe in, what God wants me to do, and
Sure.
where I'm at there. That's what I have to do. And there's so much middle ground. Our president is common sense. He'll do stuff if it could be traditionally on the left side of center, and it doesn't matter to him. He wants to solve the problems. He's a problem solver.
Right.
He is a problem solver, and every problem that hasn't been solved is because he's gotten pushback from the left going, you know what? When they were all for it in the beginning anyway, they were all for it. I mean, the wall. It's really sad. It's really sad that things can't get done in our country because of politics interfering, and he's smashing that. So going forward, after he wins by a landslide in 2020,
Oof.
by the time 2024 comes along, this country's going to be so united and on such an amazing path. You have to break things down before you rebuild them up, and it's just amazing. Think where we're at now and where we were just 6-7 years ago with Obama and all the things. When I came out of my addiction, I go, what is going on? All my friends are unemployed. This guy's giving money to an evil empire, and there's a thing called ISIS. I'm going, why aren't we doing something about this?
Yeah, it was
And
very frustrating. It was frustrating to live through, and I hope you're right.
I didn't have to live through it. I was on crack,
Haze.
That's the interesting thing about you. If there's ever a political run in your future, all the skeletons, all the shit, it's already out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like-
exactly.
Yeah, you're bulletproof.
You're bulletproof.
Yeah,
they can't hit you with anything.
So, Mike,
And when they do hit me now, you know what they say, that if they hit me with something that's false, or even that they're trying to, there's Mike Lindell's getting sued. Everybody just thinks, oh, that's just because he backs the president, and that's true. I mean, it's like, I don't, all my stuff, I put it right out there. So I don't know what they would do. Go back and they did it. There was one of the big magazines It was one of the bigs. I think it was Star Magazine. They had it was about a year and a half ago or something, and they hardly sold any articles. The front page says, Mike Lindell's dark drug past. Well, everybody already knew that. They go, why am I buying that? Duh?
Yeah,
You know?
Forbes already covered it.
Hey, Mike, if you were to win the next election in the 5th District of Minnesota as a write-in candidate, would you serve? If people
No,
wrote you in.
I'm
Come
not
on,
in-
Mike,
I'm
that would
not
be a
in-
sign from
That
God,
would
man.
be a sign from God.
I'm not in that district. You know, it's illegal. That's the problem. You guys don't realize.
You know, I don't know that.
I mean, it's
I duck this a few moments ago. You need to be over 25. You need to be a U.S. citizen for 7+ years. You've been a U.S. citizen that long, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't necessarily have to live in the district. I know it's
that's right.
unconventional.
Senator, can I ask you a question?
No, not senator. Representative.
Representative.
From the 5th district. If we get you written in, Mike, you got to serve. It's a sign from God at that point.
No, I think I've got too much to do to help our whole state. I would have to focus on that thing then. I've got my platform. You guys, it's my platform. I think you guys should think beyond, think outside of the box. We need her right now. You know why we need her right now?
Yeah,
we
'cause
need her
she's a
right now because
foil.
everyone's going to go out and vote against us in Minnesota. I mean, I tell people that all the time. You know, you guys. You know, let's just let her keep rambling on her mouth because she's helping change Minnesota. You guys, we've been the same since 1972. We're the only blue state like this where it's since 1972. A lot of us didn't even go out and vote. You know, back in the day. Well, I was because I didn't because I didn't. Politics didn't resonate with me, but but a lot of people didn't vote because what would be the sense? It's always the same, you know. Well, that changed in 2016 when the president came here. I spoke before he went up on 2 days before the election. He came to Minnesota, and we almost won Minnesota. If he'd have came 2 weeks earlier, I believe we'd have won. And the media blocked me back then. They completely shut me out. But this time around, I'm getting around them. I'm getting around them. I'll do something just to get in the news, and then I'll just say what I really want to say.
No, it's awesome, Mike, because you're the opposite of how you should do things. Like you're crack addict who starts a multi-gazillion-dollar empire and then goes publicly vocal about politics, religion, abortion, like all the things that are they're not even supposed to be talked about at the family dinner. You know what I mean? And you're just like, yeah, whatever. And your business gets bigger for it. It's crazy.
I know. You guys, I got to tell you a funny thing. I don't want to give it a lot of advertising, but there's a cartoon out that's it's on Showtime, and it's written by Steve Colbert and these other guys, and on there it says they got all the Democrats and the people on the left are in a room, and they go, all the cartoons, they go, what are we going to do about Mike Lindell? And the guy goes, what do you mean? And the other guy goes, what do you mean? And the other guy goes, well, he wrecked. Now you got to hear this. He wrecked half of his brain when he was on crack. So now he has no realization of any self-doubt. I got a thing. I got it on my wall here. I go, you can't make that stuff up. You know?
Well, you got room on the wall. You got room on the wall because there's no spot for the HR department rules.
That's right. We got rid of them a long time ago.
Does anyone at My Pillow ever come up to you and go, bro, really? Abortion? You're funding a movie on abortion?
Oh yeah, my employees now, I think by osmosis, they've all came to Jesus and they've all just came to the thing. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, they're going, you know, like, what is it tonight? My call center, you know, and you know, they'll get called, but you'd be surprised. Like even with that abortion movie, I didn't get attacked like every other people did in that. You know, that others that got attacked. They banned the movie from Canada for 2 months. And then I don't know if you know this, but the day the movie launched, Twitter took it down for 2 hours, took down our whole site. I sent a Twitter out to Jack Dorsey. I said, Jack, could you please check into this? Our movie's down. Now he got, all of a sudden it came back up, but everybody was attacking me going, I said, thanks, Jack, for checking into it and getting it up. Everybody was attacking me going, why were you nice to him? Whatever. I go, you know what? I said, it gave him an out. It gave him an out to be able, the whole country was bombarding him. It gave him an out. I mean, there's, social media. They're in all the news now. I mean, crooked Google's about the worst company that they're just a monster.
Yep.
And the stuff they're all doing. I'll tell you right now, if I do get, I will say the way to solve. You just had these shootings. To me, you have to get a hold of all the social media, Amazon. You need Amazon, Apple, Twitter, Facebook, all social media. You need to Google. You need to get them all in a room and say, hey, you guys are going to help us from now on. You're going to have filters, and you're going to filter down just warning. So, like, all it is a deviation. I look at deviations every day. These guys do it every day for you to sell you products. You Google something, and 2 minutes later you see a sign on a tree that you should buy it. And these guys would know. You can't do with the general public. You can't have everybody report if you see a sign of someone's a lunatic. Well, if you do that, my bar where that lunacy is and your bar would be different. It becomes too subjective.
Yes.
But guess what? Their algorithms they set are not subjective. It is what it is. So even like the guy in Las Vegas, where was the deviation there? Everything he did was legal. He bought guns legal and everything. Guess what? He bought too many guns. He would have been flagged right away. Nobody buys that many guns that fast. So he would have been flagged, and then you got enough FBI guys to at least watch him. You don't go arrest him. You go say, hey, what's the deal here? You check on your deviation, And you make all these guys, you make all of them. You make Zuckerbuck from Facebook. You make that guy, you go, you know what if your kid's dependent on it? You need to give us, you need to tell us, just like you would if you want to send us an ad to buy something because you know everything you know about it. 8 guys know every single thing about us, and they control us and everything else. Why not make them use their technology for good so we don't have these horrific killings anymore and people get the help they need instead of what's going on?
No,
and that's and the president actually brought that up. He brought it up last night. He said, something about social media needs to help us. So I hope they would cooperate.
Yeah, you're right. They already had the information and the ability to pull the information. They might as well identify the stuff that's problematic and not just using our stuff to make more money, right?
Right. They just turn it in every day. They turn it. It's like a filter, you guys. You ever see the movie The Fugitive with the one-armed man?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And all of a sudden there's 8 guys or 9 guys. You just go watch those 9 guys, and each day, but each day, like let's say I make statements on Facebook or I buy something on Amazon that's not normal, or I'm doing something on Twitter that's not normal. All it is a deviation from normal. Now, if that guy's deviation, if there's a deviation where I do it all day with my call center. Let's say some guy every day climbs a tree and he overlooks some highway, and every day does the same thing. Well, after a while, you've watched him enough. It's not a deviation. That's his norm, right?
Yeah.
But
as odd as it is.
As odd as it is. But you do these. Those guys have algorithms. They know if you want to buy a bag of Cheerios or go out inside and get white paint at a hardware store. They know if you're going to commit a crime or if you're thinking about it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Especially if you combine Apple and Amazon
I tend to agree with you.
Probably right. You're probably right, because there was a lot I doubted about that. Like, like they could watch you through the camera on your laptop, and now it's like, oh, absolutely they can. So you're probably right.
Absolutely.
That they can identify.
All they're doing is just giving our FBI, because there's not enough FBI guys to watch every little thing and track down every little thing. If someone in Florida goes, oh yeah, this guy over here, he said he was gonna come over to my house and kill me or whatever. Well, an FBI guy's not going to come down there for that. But if there were signs on Twitter and Facebook and all these other things that came down, if they turned them in every day, these filters. Now the filters don't lie. Now if they overlap, can you imagine if 6 of them overlap? The bottom one there is going ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
You better get there right now. That's a red alert to the FBI. They come flying out, they take care of it. Or even local law enforcement. But the problem is you got to get into, I think it would be a federal thing, because you have to everybody's got to be treated the same. You're not going and arresting anybody. You're just going and saying, you're watching them. Are you okay?
It creeps into that Minority Report kind of thing where you're going after someone before they've committed a crime. But I don't know. It sounds good on paper. I'd like to see it in action, obviously, to
Right,
stop the
right.
behavior in this country. But it comes down to humans, and everything is so subjective. I mean, we his flags
Right.
going off for some guy because he yelled
Right.
too loud at his girlfriend. And you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
exactly.
it's just
Yeah.
really hard to nail down. But
And the only way to get around that is those social networks and what I just told you with Google. They're just reported, and when they report it, it's real. You did that. You're not arresting him. It's called an investigation. It's not. You're going to arrest the guy if they did. You arrest the gal. It's. Now you know who to watch. You don't think you can get watched from that the FBI aren't watching certain people that they've had warning
Sure.
signs from. Now
Sure.
they just have the right warning signs. It's very simple.
Yeah.
They don't go busting in without a warrant and stuff, but you're watching the right people. Then you're putting your resources in the right places is all it is. And if the public says, well, we don't want to give the government our information or stuff like that, you just gave it to 6 or 8 people in this world that control the world. I'm sorry. It's too late to close the gate. The cows are out of the barn. You gave all your information to Suckabuck, Dorky, Mr. Goober. You gave it to them all.
Yep, you sure did.
Well put, Mike.
Hey, really quick, and we'll let you go, Mike. I don't want to keep too much of your time, but Unplanned is the movie you referenced a while ago. It's about Abby Johnson working. She was working at Planned Parenthood and then became really anti-abortion. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I heard that movie. I have a movie-making friend said that movie did really well.
Yeah, it's well over 20 million, and now it's in all the countries. I just got into Australia, did get into Canada. They just came to me. Now they're coming actually today. He's in town here, Minneapolis, one of the producers, and they're coming to me. We're going to sell it now on DVD and the digital downloads now here in the U.S. But more importantly, it's helped so many people, because at the end of those movies, we had a place to get help if you've already had an abortion or if you're thinking of getting one. It wasn't just about, it was an amazing message. And what it has done is save so many lives now and help people restore their hearts that they couldn't forgive themselves too. I mean, there were so many things. This movie was such a key. I'm so glad that I was at, when they came to me a year and a half ago, I was on I was getting ready to go to Israel, and they said, yeah, Mike, these guys called me up. I knew the one guy vaguely. He says, we prayed about it, and you're going to be in our movie. And I said, well, I haven't prayed about it. What's the movie? and he told me about the movie, this true story, and I got off the phone. I said, let me call you right back. And I got off the phone. I prayed with my gal, and we both, said, hey, I got to do it. So I called him back. I said, well, I'll be in the movie, my cameo, but it has to be a quality movie. And they said, are you short any money? And they said, yeah, we're short $1 million. And I sent $1 million in without even having a contract. And then they said then they told me later, oh yeah, we prayed about that too. We thought God said to call you up. And I'm going, what was your plan B? They go, we didn't have a plan B, so the movie wouldn't have been here. And,
Mike, we've been praying every night over here that Mike Lindell give us $1 million, and God's not listening.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell you guys about that. Sometimes prayers aren't God's will. So when you find God, and I can be proactive in prayer now that I have God, that relationship with Jesus. And guess what? His will is in the Word. So you guys stay in the Word there and keep reading the Bible. Maybe it'll come true.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
So that's a no on the million?
Yeah, I'll take that as a no right now. Last time, yeah. We'll keep praying, Mike. But are you going to do more funding of movies and stuff? Do you like that?
I only did that because it had an amazing message. I've been approached by everybody and their brother for both my book rights and everything else. I said, no, I'm self-publishing my book. I'm financing my own movie because I'm gonna have a movie from the book, and that's gonna help so many people too. And I'm just not gonna give up with the one thing that I had to live through years of addiction. So I'm gonna use that story and for God's platform to take all that money and use it for good. And I'm not going to give any middleman anything. So, And I'm going to play myself in the movie too, you guys.
You are? I was going to ask you, who's going to play Mike Lindell?
No, I watched Howard Stern did it in his movie, and he did a pretty good job, I thought. So
Eminem too. Eminem did a great job in his movie.
Did he? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try it.
Nice.
I've gotten better at talking in front of people, so we'll see how I do.
You'll do great, Mike.
Yeah. When he
It looks like that again, or?
Yeah. No, I think that'll be great, and we can't wait for the book to come out. Really, honestly, like
Yeah, the book, and I'm telling you, if any of the listeners, I mean, if you can get the pre-sale of this book, I am taking funds, and I'm going to get this Lindell Recovery Network started, and it's just costing so much to hire all the mentors, and it's a very big cost. But and right now I've reached out for no other donors other than myself, and I want to use my book sales towards it. And once I get it going, I'll probably reach out for private donors, which I will. But you know, I don't want the government or anybody telling us how to run it. So I want to do it all private funding and say, you know, because here's what my mentor is. You don't go to college to be a paid certified mentor of Mike Lindell's recovery network. Here's what you had to be. You had to have been an addict. That's a requirement. That's a job requirement. You had to have been an addict. B, you had to have went through
studying hard.
treatments. And B, you had to go through one of these faith-based centers, and C, you had to find Jesus. That's it. Those three.
All right.
That's the resume.
All right. I'll be there on Monday. Where do I start?
And it's a good paying job too. Come on down.
I love it, man. MikeLindellsBook.com, right? Where they can pre-order.
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and then MyPillow.com. Great radio specials going today. Body pillow regular $85.68, now $29.99. You just got to use the promo code TDC. Giza sheets, our favorite, the Giza
They're
sheets.
the best.
50% off and free shipping. Tons of other discounts and stuff. You're not running out of Giza, are you? Because I know, didn't you buy all the world's Giza?
I bought it all once. This is we're on Giza 94, and when that's out, then I'll have to try and get, because I'm getting it from the same fields over there. That it's amazing cotton. It's
It's taller.
yeah, so we got enough for a couple months, so we're good to go for right now.
And lastly, how much is to buy the world's amount of Giza? How much is that?
That was for that night, for that 88 back then. I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 million back then. I think I can't even remember, but it was just that it was that raw cotton, because I didn't want it mixing with anything. I wanted to get certified. The way to get certified, if you buy it all, if you get all of that cotton, then they can't go mixing it, because they you know, and then I have guys following it right from the fields to right to me. So I don't want any corruption in between.
There you go. I'll take all of it. We love it, Mike. You've been so generous to us over the last few years, and you're one of the funniest guys we know. And continued success, my friend. And
Okay.
please tell
All
me,
right, well,
and keep the washer fluid stocked in your truck.
All right, you got it, and I'll get a hold of you guys when I'm in Michigan.
Yeah, you're coming in studio as soon as you get here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be actually. I think I'm gonna be in Detroit the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'll get a
Done.
hold of you.
You're in.
Yeah,
Done.
come on in, man. We'd love to have you in. That'd be great.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, thanks.
All right, Mike.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Yep, you too.
All right, bye.
The Gizas. I bought it all.
I bought it all. He's really on the Giza too. Like, I don't know how much TV you're watching. Probably not much.
I've seen that commercial once or twice where it shows the map.
Where the globe spins.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
Shows the
graphic.
Giza region.
It looks like a vagine almost. It's like between the Nile and the Mediterranean.
Yeah. A
It's the only
fertile land.
Yeah, they're just where the Giza grows. And it's like, I always just think, like, paid $5 million for that. For the Giza there. God bless, man. That's hilarious. Anyway, let's take a really quick timeout, I guess. Or, you know, we've only got 15 minutes left. You want to take a break really quick? Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike and Jay. Of course, Big E is here. Big thank you to Mike Lindell for coming on the show again. Always enjoy talking to him, man.
It's fun.
I could talk to that dude.
Ball of energy.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I run into people from time to time that go, oh, isn't he the super Christian guy and blah, 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 or Trump supporter? And I'm like, yeah.
He's interesting.
That's his thing. But if you've ever met him or been around him or know him, whatever. You don't have to agree with someone's politics all the time. You don't have to agree with where they stand with religion or whatever. It's like, dude,
He's an interesting, good person.
you
no
know
question.
good people, and if you know when people that do as much as they do for others, and you take one trip to his buildings in Minnesota like we did.
You'll see no HR.
No, we don't need HR department. Those guys are a bummer.
Fun governors.
But what you will see is countless lifelong friends that would take a bullet for that dude. You know what I mean? We met all of them. Dawn and her husband and all their buddies telling stories about, you know, what Mike was like as a young guy, and they're all working for him and they all love him to death.
That's still so surreal that all
should
happened.
speak
That's so much fun.
that should speak volumes about what a person's character is like. You know what I mean? I thought it was kind of on that note. You know, we were talking about our boy Mike Massey, who was coming in studio Thursday, and Isis mentioned, yeah, I think he's kind of, you know, we were like, I wonder how it is that he's out there bashing Trump all the time on social media and whatnot. And is that good for sales, you know, when you're trying to just get a fan base to your shows? And he's like, he's really kind of stopped doing that. And because we had mentioned, you know, we have listeners that are like, yeah, man, I want to support you guys, but I'm going to sit this one out. Just, I can't deal with it. And I wanted to share with you guys, I got a text from Dan Vogt yesterday, and he was talking about that show and stuff, and he said, hey man, I don't know if you reached out to Mike Massey, but I thought it was really cool of him to write me. And I was like, dude, I didn't reach out to Mike Massey at all. I didn't tell him anything. And so he sends me this text that he got from Massey that just said, hey Dan and Amanda, I would like to invite you both to be my guests at the show at the Ark on Friday night. I know you're both great people, and I don't want our beliefs to stop us from enjoying an evening together. It'd be great to see you both. If you would like to be there, if you would prefer to politely decline, I would understand. Or if you have a schedule conflict, that's understandable as well. Maybe you could let me know whether I should set aside tickets for you. I would appreciate it best, Mike.
That's nice.
Isn't that really cool?
So Mike invited a couple Nazis to his show?
Yes, a couple racist Nazis, Trump lovers. But it's like, you know, Dan and Amanda are great people. Mike Massey's a great person. They couldn't be more polar opposite as far as politics go. To your long-standing point, Jay, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just got to shut this shit off and not let it, like, creep
Don't let it invade everything.
If you let it invade everything,
My
like,
God.
take sides. It's like, you know other human beings are good. They're just good people for the most part. Mike Lindell's a great guy who's extremely generous. He's been extremely generous with us, and you listeners know that. You know? You don't like the president, so boycott my pillow. Come on, man.
By the way, his discussion about social media and their algorithms and using that to spot shooters and all that, obviously that's going to be met with a lot of skepticism from people who are you know afraid of Big Brother and so forth. But I really do believe that that's a viable idea to explore. But here's the thing, man. This happened to me just the other day when I hurt my back and I was laid up all weekend. You know, before John from systematicmassage.com fixed it.
Right.
It's really my piriformis.
Your other job, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm laid up.
Man hands. He was digging like hard into your buttocks.
My buttock,
too, like
yeah.
your
My right
hands.
buttock mostly.
And it was skin on skin,
deep.
right? He was deep digging into your buttocks. Say they're way too long, but go ahead.
So I'm laying there, and Sweet Pie comes home. Manny had taken her to the mall.
Tiny girl.
She's just a tiny girl. She's a cute. She was at the mall, and she went to like Legoland and the Sea Life thing. You know.
Yeah. Oh shit! She went to the aquarium there. At
Yeah,
that mall?
yeah.
Nice.
Well, Legoland. I like Legoland.
Apparently, there's also a Peppa Pig land or some shit. I don't know.
Really?
Peppa Pig is a cartoon.
Is Peppa Pig big enough to warrant its own store?
Right. I don't know much about it. I know it's a cartoon, and I know it's English. And I asked the same thing.
Yeah.
How long can that really be viable at Great Lakes Crossing Mall?
Yeah, I mean,
So anyway, they apparently stopped in there where she bought like a little Peppa Pig emblem for her friend whose birthday is coming up.
Sure.
And so she's telling us about this Peppa Pig and Daddy Pig and all this, and I'm just like, I know very little about Peppa Pig. So I'm laying there on the floor watching the beautiful game 10 minutes later, and I'm watching the LA Galaxy play, and who amongst us hasn't wondered how tall is Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
I've been wondering for years.
The dude's a monster, okay? He's the
sure.
best player in MLS, top 2 for sure. But this guy's a freaking monster. And so I grabbed the Google machine. I say, how tall is Peppa Pig fills in? Peppa Pig fills into
Yeah.
my goddamn phone. That shit's listening.
Yeah.
No question about
Dude.
it. I have never written the words Peppa Pig into any sort of Google machine or onto my computer. Peppa Pig is not discussed in my house. It was discussed 10 minutes before, and I don't believe it's ever been discussed before. It auto-filled Peppa Pig.
Yeah,
And then
dude.
underneath, Daddy Pig.
This
I'm
happened
not
to me.
kidding, man.
No,
I believe you.
I believe you 100% because this happened to me, I want to say yesterday or the day before, where Troy and I were talking about something. And a lot of times when you're talking about something, it's like, a question will arise and it's like, oh man, I got a big machine. I got a DuckDuckGo machine right here in my pocket. I swear to God, I got as far as same thing, like what is, and it filled in what
You
we
guys
were
were talking about?
and
Yeah.
I was like,
how much is a kilo?
no, it was something very specific about either a person or a band. I can't, God, why can't
And
I
it
remember?
filled it in.
And I went, there's no way. There's no way. That's just got to be, it must be in
You
my
had a Peppa Pig moment. This
And
happened.
it was scary, but I was like, that is way, way too 1984, Minority Report-ish. Like, no one's sitting there listening going, what does he need to know now?
This 100% happened, man.
That's
Peppa Pig,
crazy.
I'm telling you, has never come up in my house. It's never been typed into my computer. In no way has it been
Yeah.
referenced.
Well, his idea, and Mike is one of those guys that's thinking all the time and solutions based. He wants to help and solutions, and that's
We'll figure
really
out the
his
details
vibe.
later.
Yeah, let's think out of the box. Let's think giant. How do we stop this massive addiction problem? Let's get on it. So, oh shit, what was I gonna say? Shit.
Just the fact that this practically has some real holes.
Okay, thank you. So he's talking about.
He's a
stuff
big
like,
picture guy.
Big picture guy. It'll do this. And in a perfect world, yes, it will. The problem is, who do you put in charge of building the algorithm? At the end of the day, every time an algorithm is created and made bigger, this is 1,000 times smarter than any human. And but it took thousands and thousands of human beings to build that algorithm. And God only knows what influence they had in there. Donald Trump
there's
is...
enormous opportunity for abuse. There's holes all over it.
And
but just
the guys
the
that are-
nugget of the idea is a good one, for sure.
For sure it is. And I'm with you 100%. That thing knows so much about us.
It's not like we're asking people to do a new thing. Everybody's already done it. We've already
Right.
committed everything to these companies.
Yes.
As he said,
Yeah, you've given
suck a
six-
buck.
And you've given 6 people the keys to every bit of knowledge
Yeah.
in the world. Like 6 people are running it, and they can do
So
what they want.
we
And
may
you
as well
know-
use it for good.
Well, you know that they are extremely liberal, and they're, that these Google whistleblowers that are coming out, the latest one, Kevin Ciceron or whatever, that was on Lou Dobbs over the weekend. It was on with, I think, Tucker Carlson a couple weeks ago, and he's going, dude, he believes that he was blown out of that company a year ago for his conservative views, and too many of these guys are saying that, and he's going, I'm telling you, those people in Google burst into tears. The night of the election, burst into tears.
Yeah. No, we saw videos of that,
How
yeah.
could we let this happen? We can't. We got to do everything we can to
Yeah.
make sure this doesn't happen again in 2020. So the idea that those guys are going to be the ones that build the algorithm to combat,
yeah.
it's like, I don't trust them, no matter
Trust
what
in the
they
fox
say.
in the hen house, huh?
Exactly. And I'm not smart enough to code. I can't write code very good. So we got to rely on them, I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. That guy who was saying, he was like, there was something put in the code where when I searched, and it wasn't the art of the deal, but Donald Trump apparently had a different book that came out before that, double something or whatever. It doesn't matter really. But if you went and Googled like Donald Trump book, blah, 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 and hit enter. Like, one of the top search results that would pop up was the Third Reich book.
Oh my God.
And he's like, it took me 9 months. I was like, what the hell is this? Why would the Third Reich come up when you type Donald Trump book?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's bullshit, is what it is. And someone intentionally did that. And he said they fought and slow walked it as much as they could 9 months before that bug was removed. They were given we're on it. We're giving the job to Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson retired a month ago. Bill Johnson doesn't work here anymore. To guys that were no longer employees.
Yeah,
9 months.
These companies have tremendous control and influence, and
Yes.
the right is going to be ultimately buried because of that. That is the biggest danger to the right.
Yeah, it's insane.
Hey everybody, Arnold Roofing. They are a listener-owned business, as you know. They've served Southeast Michigan and surrounding areas since 1998. They specialize in repairs, replacements, and new roofs, of course. Arnold Roofing has the experience, knowledge to provide you a reliable product backed by quality workmanship and extensive warranties. Get this, gentlemen, they'll do the work with no money down. You pay upon completion. That means Arnold Roof is dedicated to your complete satisfaction. So get roofed up proper. Go to arnoldroofing.com for free estimates and more information. Call 248-634-0189.
Hey, did you see video of the little kid in China?
Which one?
He's like, oh, what's that on the ground? It's a little manhole.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa,
Sorry,
whoa.
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, point of personal privilege. Fuck.
He's,
Maintenance hole.
Maintenance hole cover. He saw a maintenance hole cover and stepped on it, and bye-bye.
No, I didn't see that.
Jesus. I figured we'd end the day, Jay, with giving you a nice little fall video.
A busted manhole cover. Sorry.
Point of personal
Maintenance hole.
privilege.
Jeez,
Point of personal
Christ.
Maintenance
I
hole.
got twice
By the
in
way,
a minute.
if you guys don't know what point of personal privilege, the definition is,
Yeah.
I want you to be aware so we can use it
Gotcha.
appropriately. Term of parliamentary law and procedure, which refers to an urgent motion made at a meeting which seeks an immediate ruling on an alleged violation of the rights or privileges of members as a whole, or in regards to a negative personal
So
remark.
if you have sensory overload, for example,
Point of personal.
Yes,
point
that's
of
fair.
personal privilege. Yes, and that needs to be recognized. You bring
if somebody
the
uses
room,
the wrong gender pronoun,
yeah,
that would
point
warrant
of personal privilege,
Yes.
and the room is brought to a halt until we address this matter.
rule on the motion.
We
Okay,
rule on it.
got
yes.
it.
So if any of you feels aggrieved, if Jay says, she-male or Shamali, chicks with dicks, anything like that, feel free to just scream. Point of personal privilege.
I can't even do it because if I were to do point of personal privileges on this show, we wouldn't even have a show, Mike. I would just be point of personal privilege would be the name of the show.
If you personally have a point of personal privilege,
I know, but I
that
have to
needs
pick and
addressing,
choose my point of
don't
personal
abuse it.
Well,
You need to be aggrieved for real.
I understand, but
All right.
oh,
All right, let's see a kid fall.
Yeah.
Wait, this isn't a snuff video. I don't want to see that.
No, there was a snuff video basically earlier. A 5-year-old had fallen into a maintenance hole, and he
God.
died. But that's not this one.
Okay,
This one
so
has a happy ending.
he
but
lives. All right.
He's with his dad, and tiny boy. This is my tiny boy. Imagine your dad. It's like your nightmare, Jay. Don't you have a nightmare of dropping a kid?
Yeah, in the porta potty.
Yeah.
It's a
You just
recurring
leave-
nightmare.
You just let him go at that point. You don't go in after him. Those things are disgusting.
Oh my God,
Tiny
that'd be the
girl
worst.
slips through it. Bloop.
That'd be the worst.
You wouldn't pull her out of there.
I would
You just-
absolutely go in for my tiny girl. I go head first for my
Not
tiny
a
girl.
chance. If I'm babysitting her, she stays in
Little
there.
Tej.
I call you and be like,
going in.
dude, bing my location. You can find her there. She's at the far part of John. She fell in. I'm not going in after her. So as sooner you get here, sooner she gets out.
Good thing is she's taller now
Yeah.
than when I first had those nightmares. So she might be able to stand at the bottom.
Yeah, she can get herself up in that blue water.
Ugh.
All right. So,
Here he goes.
yeah, what's
Why
that?
would you no? Oh!
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Look at Dad wants to go in there, pulling Dad out. He's going, no. Tiny boy. Tiny boy.
Oh, nice dad move.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Oh!
Boy, he goes quick.
Yeah, gravity is something.
Gravity is amazing. It really goes yoink mine. Yoink
That was
mine.
like being held up by a toothpick or something. What was holding this? Look at what ran over that before that didn't drop that whole maintenance hole cover.
Well, pause it right there. First of all, kid, you have been on Earth long enough to realize you should be able to recognize.
Aware of our physical environment, right?
Yes.
Know
even
how things
him,
work.
He's small, whatever, but Don't you think he should be able to recognize
I do, man.
this probably shouldn't be stepped on?
At best, you tow it. You're old enough to tow that, you know?
Tow
Just,
it. But
test it.
your balance is back.
Yes.
You don't trust at all that thing might give.
Yeah.
And who's the maintenance hole worker that just went, good enough, we'll deal with the rest of that tomorrow?
No, that's been broken, so something ran over that, right?
Something happened to it?
Something happened to it, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Look at him. What are you?
Oh.
No. Look at, and the dad recognized it first. Like if you back it up in slow mo at E, the dad actually recognizes like he's not that stupid. Oh yes he is. Like dad's turning like what are you doing?
It's like, what's that? Wait, what?
No, 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 no.
And you're right, his hand's already out
Yes,
there.
right
Dad's
here.
like,
the dad is.
Even mom is like, wait, no.
There he goes. There
Yeah.
he goes.
Bye bye.
Man.
What would you do? Are you just diving in head first, like
Yeah.
it's, like going after?
I think 99% of people would, right?
Yeah, it can't be that deep. She's like, get out of here, you idiot. You can't go feet first. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, we're all good.
Oh my God.
掉下去了咩人？
Bye-bye. Poor little guy. I don't know if he died from that, so we might have been watching the snuff film. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm going to assume he did.
Oh, okay. No, it says the boy only suffered minor injuries.
Good.
Bruised ego for sure, but learned a valuable
This is
lesson.
good news.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, we received post
What do we got?
from one Tony the
Love of-
cat.
What?
We received post.
Yeah, Tony.
It's the Song of the Bridge. Listen to this, man. Have you read the Song of the Bridge? This was written by D.B. Steinman, who is a poet as well as the designer of the Mackinac Bridge.
Okay.
He writes, "The light gleams on my strands and bars, in glory when the sun goes down. I spread a net to hold the stars, and wear the sunset as my crown."
Can I see it?
Beautiful
that's
bridge.
I do.
It's the
I'm
Mighty
obs-
Mac.
I'm obsessed with the Mackinac Bridge. I think some of it is just that my
So is
family has
D.B.
gone there.
Steinman.
Right. I think it's just because I've done the bridge walk for 23 years, so I
is
have this
that worthy?
nostalgia.
Is that worthy of song though? I mean,
Yes.
those lyrics.
Fuck yes, it is.
Here, the light gleams on my strands and bars. I'm glory when the sun goes down. I spread a net to hold the stars and wear the sunset as my crown.
If,
Yeah, one
if he
time it
doesn't
was-
design this bridge, does this
Yeah.
bridge go without poem? I think it
I think
probably
it does.
Mike, it was
Yeah.
it was at one time one of the longest suspension bridges in the world, 5 miles.
It's a great bridge, and
Not
Tony
everything
enjoyed
deserves
it.
Song.
Tony says, "Dear Mike and Jay, the bridge, the bridge!" Exclamation. My second road trip, and I got to see and go across the most magnificent bridge in the world.
You had a whizzed and then it pooped in the back of the car and bummed everybody out. Turf. Pretty cool.
We also took a historical trolley tour of Mackinac City that was perfect.
How can you say anything, Mike? This is exactly how you would type something.
I would not say perfect.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I go,
Perfect.
I pooped in the back of the car and stinked up the place.
Eric and my parents said they never knew much of this history. Off to, and then Tony crossed out the and wrote the UP.
Yeah, going to the UP.
Off to the UP, pure Michigan. Meow. Love Tony.
I'm gonna say ciao for meow.
Tony.
You know what? You can tell that,
Tony actually wrote that.
or that E takes after his mom in handwriting. There's some touch of tardedness in her handwriting too. It's not
your
Big E level.
It's not your typical middle-aged woman email, right?
No.
Or, I mean, sorry, handwriting.
Well,
Yeah.
postcards are harder. And she
Are
was
they?
trying. Yes, I think they are.
Are you
The
supposed to
lines are-
hyphenate if you do the perfect?
Yeah, I would because you definitely want him to see it, right? Perfect.
And I 3R it.
Yes.
She does 2 R's, no hyphen.
Well, she almost said the UP and then crossed out and put duh UP.
Off to the off. What was she gonna write?
The.
She was. Oh yeah. Off
We
to the
caught
UP.
you, Francis.
And isn't Mackinac spelled with a C?
Mackinac?
Mackinac.
I think Mackinac
It
City is
depends.
spelled different
Yeah.
than
Is
Mackinac
it
Bridge.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So she may
There's
have done
weirdness with that whole
yeah.
Michelin bullshit.
I was hesitant in reporting it, but you know.
I don't know, but I know that they're all different. Like the island's spelled differently
Yep.
than the city.
it right. There's a
sure.
discrepancy there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's nice to hear from Tone.
It was. Hey,
Yeah.
Big Tone.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
Big Tone. Very good. Tomorrow, exciting day. J. Chris Newberg will be here. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
It is indeed.
I have that right. Yeah, he'll be here. in anticipation of his show and string over the weekend as well. Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. Tickets still available. You can get them at the door. You can buy them in advance. Pick your seat out in advance.
You can.
Just go to comedycastle.com for tickets or 248-542-9900. So we'll welcome Chris in tomorrow.
But in the meantime, go to mypillow.com. Take advantage of the radio
Yes.
listener specials.
For today.
You can see the body pillows that I think that is shaped like Mike Lindell as I look at this picture.
Yep.
You can also get Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows. Buy one, get one free. 2-pack specials. The Giza Dream Sheets and pillowcases.
50% off. Those are not...
Dude,
those
mattress
sheets are great.
toppers, My Pillow mattresses. Yeah, go to mypillow.com. Of
The
course,
dog beds. Everyone loves those dog beds,
dog beds,
too.
the poops beds.
Yeah,
Use
gonna put up
TDC code for the very best discount.
Yes, exactly. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.